Hey guys, today I want to quickly go over and review with you what you need to make sure that you're putting in on your bar or pictograph that you're going to create today using your Flipgrid. Again, you don't have to do both. You can pick one, whichever one you prefer. So before you will go to make your either bar or pictograph, you're going to have to pick at least 4 different exercises that you're going to write down your data for 1 minute. So if I chose sit-ups, push-ups, jumping jacks, and burpees, I would do each of those moves for 1 minute and I would write down how many I got for each. And then I can use my bar or pictograph that I'm going to create to graph my data. All right, so let's go ahead and start by reviewing a bar graph. Again, we have to make sure that we label our graphs so that people can follow all of our information. Okay, so I know this is not about fitness. This is actually about pets at home. But kind of ignore that part and just pay attention to all the different parts that I have on my bar graph. So a bar graph needs a title. The title tells your audience what your graph is about. So yours will be about fitness or my fitness moves. Okay, so you have to have a title on your bar graph. You also have to have a you also have to have your bars. Okay, so I know you can't really see this is kind of blocked out, but it says bars. So a bar graph uses bars to represent and show the data. So they're putting their bars going vertically, but you can also do your bars going horizontally. And then your scale would go either along the y-axis or along the x-axis, depending on where you put your bars. So most common bar graph that people will use are the vertical bars. Anyways, okay, so you have a title. You use your symbols, which are your bars for a bar graph. You are going to have your x-axis, which is this line that runs here, and you're going to have a title for your x-axis. So their title, since they're talking about the different pets, is the type of pets. Yours will be your type of moves that you do. So that would be your or an appropriate title for your x-axis. So you will have an x-axis on your bar graph. You will have your categories. If this was for mine, I would have my sit-ups, my push-ups, my jumping jacks, and my burpees would be my categories for my fitness moves. Okay. You will have your scale. Since they're doing vertical bars, their scale is along their y-axis. Your scale is the number that you did of each move for your fitness moves. So if I did 58 jumping jacks in a minute, this scale would not be appropriate. So instead of going by ones on my scale, I might want to skip by twos or fives, maybe tens. So you want to make sure that you have an appropriate scale to represent and show the amount that you got of each move. And then the last thing is you want to have a label for your y-axis. This is the number of students. Well, for mine, it would be the number of moves. Okay, the number that I got of each move. All right, so that is a quick review of a bar graph. Okay, now let's talk about a pictograph. If you choose to represent your fitness moves using a pictograph has some of the same things as a bar graph, and some of the things that are different. So again, you have to have a title. Mine would be my fitness moves, not my favorite pets. Okay, so we want to have a title on our pictograph. A pictograph is going to use symbols to represent the data. So I want to pick some symbols to represent my different fitness moves. Instead of using bars, a pictograph uses symbols. So I might want to do a picture of a heart for my different moves. Whatever you choose for your symbol, it's going to be symbols though instead of bars. Another important thing is that a pictograph has a key. So the key is going to show what each picture, the value of each symbol. So I can see each circle represents 2 students. So I have to make sure that I add a key onto my pictograph. And the last thing that my pictograph needs to have are my categories. So my categories won't be about animals. These will be my different moves that I chose. So this would be where I put my jumping jacks, sit-ups, push-ups, and burpees would go along here. And the amount I did of each would be represented with my symbols, and I would draw it here in my pic. All right, thanks guys.